Okay, folks, how you guys doing? My name is Mark. My peoples, where you at? This is Why I Hate the World. Been having some trouble streaming lately. Computer keeps freezing and stuff like that. Don't know what's going on, so hopefully everything goes well tonight. First thing that I want to talk about, of course, is what's going on with the Olympics. So the Olympics just finished, and we had a kind of a big controversy with Imane Khelif. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Imane Khelif. I think that's how it's pronounced. Anyway, who is she and what's going on with her? She is a boxer, a woman boxer who won the gold from Algeria. And there was a controversy where people were accusing her of being a trans woman, i.e., someone who was assigned male at birth and was trans and was competing in women's boxing in the Olympics, which, of course, there was no truth to this whatsoever. She was assigned female at birth. She's a cis woman. It is worth noting that being a trans person is illegal in Algeria. Not only would she not be in the Olympics if she were a trans woman, she would be in jail. She wouldn't be free. So why did everybody think that she was a trans woman? Why are people accusing her of being trans? It's because of somewhat of a long story, which I'll try to explain to you all now, so please bear with me. There's kind of a lot to it. It starts with the International Olympic Committee, that is the IOC, who tested her and said that she had a high level of testosterone. Now, that's not necessarily a reason, of course, to disqualify somebody from the Olympics, which she was not disqualified from the Olympics. You know, there are women that have all different levels of hormones. It's a natural thing that some women have high levels of estrogen, some women have higher levels of testosterone than normal, that kind of thing. However, she has previously been disqualified from boxing by an organization called the IBA, which is the International Boxing Association, and they put on events and stuff like that. And previously, the Olympic Committee, IOC, the International Olympic Committee, IOC, worked with the IBA in order to qualify their athletes. And part of that is that they give tests to see if they, gender tests or whatever. However, the IBA hasn't said what kind of test they gave her. They just came back and said that she failed one of their gender tests. They didn't say what kind of test. And then later on, they said that they tested her and that she had an XY chromosome pattern, which of course would make somebody biologically male. But biological males have XY chromosomes, biological females have XX chromosomes. And they were saying that Khelif had XY chromosomes. However, there's a little bit of controversy going on with this, because the IBA is no longer recognized by the International Federation of Boxing due to ethical concerns. Now, what exactly is going on with that and how come they're not recognized? It's because this organization has lots of ties to organized crime. They were found to be doing things like fixing matches, legal gambling, that kind of thing. And they were run by a guy named Imane Khelif, who is a close associate with Putin. And it looks like this woman, Khelif, they disqualified her in a boxing event that she was a part of a few years back because she was defeating her Russian opponents. And so they disqualified her so that she'd get kicked out of the competition and then the Russian fighters would win. That's the controversy. But it wasn't just her. There was also a boxer from Taiwan named Lin Yiting, who were both disqualified from the IBA for failing these gender tests, right? And the thing is, the IBA has not given any evidence to what these tests, like how they determined that she had an XY chromosome pattern. They haven't given any evidence to that whatsoever. Of course, the claim is that it's illegal to show somebody's medical test, but these aren't medical tests per se. These are just tests to see if they qualify to box. It's not the same thing. It's kind of like a test showing that somebody was doping for the Olympics. That's not confidential medical information. And if you're going to announce that she has XY chromosomes, how come you can't show the test that demonstrates? It doesn't make any sense. That's a bullshit excuse. There is a conspiracy theory going around on the right that Khelif has DSD, which stands for Difference in Sexual Development. And this is the conspiracy theory that she's actually a biological male, and that DSD can cause you to have varying degrees of sexual development, and that biological males will often be mistaken for biological females because their genitalia is malformed. This is the conspiracy theory. I don't believe this shit. I'm telling you what the conspiracy theory is. So this is what the right wing has kind of decided, without any evidence of that either. Apparently the idea is that, well, once you hit puberty, then you realize, oh, you're actually a biological male, blah, blah, blah. But there has been no evidence of that whatsoever either. There's no evidence that she has DSD and is in fact a biological male. And that actually kind of sounds like bullshit to me. I don't know if that's actual a real thing. I mean, I guess I could look it up, but I'm not going to. I don't know. Keep in mind that there's no proof of any of this. There's no proof that the IBA came to this conclusion that Khelif had XY chromosomes halfway through. There's no proof of any of that. That they even have that. There's no proof that she has DSD. Nothing like that. There are pictures of her on the internet as a young child. She's obviously a girl. She's obviously been raised as a girl. She's obviously been born as a girl. And she has all of the things that biological women have. She has a uterus. She has breasts. She has a vagina. She has fallopian tubes. She has monthly periods. She has all of the things that biological assigned female at birth women have. So she's not a trans woman at all. But of course, the right wing in this country doesn't need to have any proof of anything. See, it doesn't matter that it's not true. It doesn't matter that there's no truth to it whatsoever. Once the meme got out there that a man took away the gold for the women's boxing in the Olympics, it was on. And every piece of shit turf asshole out there started posting memes about all of this bullshit. So, just to start off, let me show you guys a couple of things here. Here is a picture of Khelif. You can see here, this is her as a young girl. She's obviously a girl. This is her as an athlete at the Olympics. And you can see why, because she doesn't fit the expected gender norms of what a woman should look like. She's not small and dainty. But she's an athlete. She's big and strong. And I guess just has too much of a jawline or something for some of these assholes out there. So that's why they think that she's a trans woman. You can even see that in some of the responses to this post. Sunshine Daisy. Let's look at this response right here. He has XY chromosomes. He is a he, sorry. First off, even if she did have XY chromosomes, there are plenty of conditions out there in which a biological female can actually have XY chromosomes. Things like DSD. Another one is called Sawyer syndrome. That's another way in which a biological female can have XY chromosomes. But that doesn't matter, because we don't have any actual proof that she actually does have XY chromosomes. See, because TERFs and conspiracy theorists don't actually need proof. They can just repeat shit. They could just say shit on the most flimsy of evidence. Another one of these assholes is, of course, everybody's favorite TERF piece of shit, J.K. Rowling. Could any picture sum up our new men's rights movement better? The smirk of a male who knows he's protected by a misogynist sporting establishment, enjoying the distress of a woman he's just punched in the head, and whose life ambition he's just shattered. This is, of course, after the first match where Khelif went up against the Italian boxer. This is the Italian woman's boxer. And what happened was that the Italian woman boxer gave up after 46 seconds. Khelif just popped her in the face, and she gave up. And that's why this whole thing started. Because Khelif was too good of a boxer. That's just, everybody remember how this started. It started because this woman here in the red, Khelif, was good at what she does. And she basically took out the other boxer, and everybody looked at her and said, "Hey, she's ugly, she must be a man." That's what the fuck is going on here, folks. All right. And even though there's zero evidence that she's a trans woman, even though she's not, she's a cis woman. She doesn't identify as trans either. I don't even think she's part of the LGBTQ movement at all. I don't even think she's gay or anything, or a lesbian or whatever. Doesn't matter. What matters is that once it gets going, these assholes will just repeat it over and over and over. Okay. Here is another one, of course, from J.K. Rowling. The idea that those objecting to a male punching a female in the name of sport are objecting because they believe Khelif to be trans is a joke. We object because we saw a male punching a female. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. But if you actually think about what she just wrote, it does not make sense. It's ridiculous bullshit turf logic, right? And it just... And I can't emphasize this enough, folks. It makes it doubly ironically stupid because Khelif is not a trans woman. Am I pronouncing that right? Khelif. Khelif. I believe that's it. Khelif. All right. If I'm pronouncing her name wrong, I apologize. I don't know how to pronounce it. But still, it just, what makes it, getting back to the point, what makes it doubly fucking stupid is that she's not a trans woman. She's a cis woman. And it's just because she doesn't fit into what J.K. Rowling thinks a woman should look like that she's getting all this shit. Elon Musk has jumped in on the fun. He shared a post from Riley Gaines. Riley Gaines, men don't belong in women's sports. I stand with Angela Carini. Let's get it trending. Angela Carini, of course, is the Italian boxer woman who gave up after getting punched in the face once. And Elon Musk retweets and says, absolutely. Please remember who Riley Gaines is, by the way, folks. Riley Gaines is the swimmer who got famous after a trans woman beat her for 5th place back in 2019, I believe. She got beat for 5th place in the 200-yard NCAA Freestyle Championship. And she got butthurt because there wasn't a trophy for her to pose with. And the exact story, if I remember right, was that this trans woman actually came in ahead of her for 5th place. So she actually beat her, but since it was like less than a tenth of a second or something, they said she tied. Okay, so already they kind of gave her a little bit of an out. Even though she lost, she should have been in 6th place. They said, okay, well, you tie for 5th place. And then there was only one 5th place trophy, and they gave it to the person who won. That is the trans woman who beat her. They gave her the trophy because she won. And then Riley Gaines got all butthurt because they go, well, you could take a picture with the 6th place trophy. And she got all mad at that. And instead of blaming the fact that she lost on herself for not doing better, she decided to blame the trans woman. Now, keep in mind, this is for 5th place. It'd be one thing if it was 1st place. But it was 5th place. So what does that mean? That means that the trans woman that she's so angry at was also beat by 4 other women for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and 4th place. So it's not like the trans man came in and swept the entire competition and walked away with the fucking trophy or whatever, right? Riley Gaines was butthurt because she tied, technically lost, but they said she tied for 5th fucking place. How pathetic is that shit? The other thing is that, who the fuck gives a shit about swimming? Nobody. Right? No one gives a fuck about swimming. But secondly, how fucking pathetic is that? It's like you couldn't even say, oh, I would have won. I trained my ass off and I was the best person there. And then this man comes in and steals it. Steals my 1st place trophy. You can't even fucking say that. It's the most pathetic fucking thing. But since she's, hating on trans people, the right wing has decided to make Riley Gaines a fucking hero. So that's bullshit. And of course, Elon Musk is a fucking asshole too for retweeting this shit. Let's look at some people who aren't famous. This is somebody named Plot Twist. It's a male inbred by its parents. Use some common sense. He got bigger shoulders than Hulk Hogan. Uh-huh. The thing is, all you gotta do is just do a couple of Googles, and you see that she's not a trans woman at all. Another guy, Big Tech is Evil. He really kicked some ass in Paris. He should be very proud. Just casual bigotry. That's the thing when it comes to, to transphobia, is that it's one of the few things left where you could just be casually bigoted about it. You could just pass this out there because they know that people are going to support them. And this guy, Big Tech Evil, and that other asshole I just showed, they know that no one is going to do anything to them. They know that no one's going to dox them, no one's going to fuck them up, nothing like that. Because it's still socially acceptable to be a bigot towards trans people. That kind of shit needs to change. A few more of these. Someone named Sue Tag. Disgusting, angry emoji. International embarrassment, celebrating a mediocre cheating male with a DSD. Stop celebrating misogynistic violence against women. And one more here, which I thought was funny. This is one I just randomly came across. Me don't belong in women's sports. I mean, I know that this guy, Wealth Turtle, stupid fucking name, I know that he meant to put men don't belong in women's sports, but I just like this. Me don't belong in women's sports. It's like, yeah, I guess you don't. I don't know. So what's going on with Khelif? How is she handling all this? Well, she actually got a reception from the president of Algeria. Right. So, they've returned to Algeria, and the president of Algeria is here, and there's a ticker tape, celebration and all that. And she's getting accommodations from, this is the president of Algeria, like giving her awards and shit and flowers and everything. Of course, they did this for the other Olympic athletes too, so I'm assuming that every Olympic athlete gets this treatment for the president. But look at this picture. Does that look like a man to you? It looks like a woman to me. Okay, maybe she's not the most attractive woman, but she's a boxer. She's an athlete. What the fuck do you expect? All right, she's not a beauty queen. She's an athlete who could probably beat your ass. So, yeah, it looks like a woman to me. I mean, what the fuck is the problem, man? And please remember that if she actually were trans, she would be in jail because it is illegal to be trans in Algeria. So there would be no way in hell she would be an Olympian. Now, Khelif here is doing the one thing which every victim of cyberbullying like this should do. That is, she's getting together with a lawyer and is going to sue the shit out of all of these people who bullied her. This is from intomore.com. Imane Khelif is suing for online harassment, and a certain TERF has been awfully quiet. See, this picture, it's obviously a woman. She's obviously a woman. Okay, she's not a man. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with people. But let's go ahead and read through some of this article here. In a statement posted on X, Khelif's lawyer, Nabil Boudi, said in French, having just won a gold medal at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, boxer Imane Khelif has decided to lead a new fight, that of justice, dignity, and honor. Ms. Khelif had contacted the firm, which filed a complaint yesterday for acts of aggravated cyber harassment with the Anti-Online Hatred Center of the Paris Public Prosecutor's Office. Khelif has dealt with transphobic, misogynistic, and racist attacks from the likes of former President Donald Trump and the notorious TERF J.K. Rowling. The complaint is still pending, however, it'll likely be brought to light sometime within the next coming days. People have also noticed that Rowling has been especially silent on X the past few days in light of this lawsuit. No J.K. Rowling tweets in 4 days, said one post. So, we don't need to read through this entire thing. I'm glad. I hope she sues the living shit out of fucking J.K. Rowling. I hope she sues fucking all those other people. I hope she sues Cat Turd and everybody else who fucked with her. Everybody else who spread these lies. I hope she sues Elon Musk and Riley Gaines and everyone and takes them all to the fucking bank. Because this is what you should do when you're confronted with this kind of thing, especially when you got famous people just signal boosting the hate like this. See, that's the thing. If it was just some random fucking wackaloons, bigoted assholes that, yeah, you could ignore those guys. You could just ignore it when it's just some fucking loser out there on the internet talking shit. But when it's the guy who owns the fucking platform, when it's Elon Musk, and when he can fucking tweet something and 5 million people see it, and then you suddenly start getting 5 million fucking tweets, like people harassing you, people doxing you, people calling your friends, your family, your job, shit like that. Yeah, it's time to fucking call a lawyer. And I hope she sues the pants off of these motherfuckers, right? Because fuck them, because somebody needs to stand up to these fucking dickheads. Because people like this get away with this shit too much. And all these other, like Libs of TikTok, that's how Libs of TikTok got famous, right? What's her name? Raya Check, whatever. That's how she got famous, by doxing gay people and trans people and lesbians and things like that, and getting them fired from their jobs and that kind of thing. No, fuck that. Hit him where it hurts. Hit him in the fucking pocketbook. I mean, here's the thing. It's like even Donald fucking Trump is like repeating this shit. Here's Donald Trump, the person who may yet again be the president of the United States. Let's go ahead and let's see what Donald Trump has to say.
And I'd like to congratulate the young woman who transitioned from a man into a boxer. You saw she won the gold medal. How about the young beautiful Italian boxer? She got in there and she didn't know what was going on, and she was a very good boxer, against other women. She didn't count on this. And he's up here, boom, one little jab, whoa. She goes, nobody ever hit me that way. Then he goes, boom. And she said, okay, I had enough. It's crazy what they're doing. And this person won the gold medal. Did they win the gold medal today? What do you think of that, Tim? I don't think Tim likes it. Greg, no good, right? Now, how crazy is it? How crazy is it? For 4 more years, crazy, and she wants it. She wants men to play.
All right, enough of this shit. Then Donald Trump, of course, tries to spin it as to somehow it's Kamala Harris's fault that this shit happened. I don't understand that. But imagine that. Imagine you are an athlete. You're in a competition. You're in the Olympics. You've trained your entire life to be there. Getting up every day for years at the crack of dawn, going out, running, sparring, working your ass off, working out, all of this stuff in order to live your dream of being an Olympic fucking champion. And then when you get there, a bunch of assholes start talking shit about you and spreading lies about you because you're not apparently womanly enough for them. Imagine that. It's unfucking believable. It's embarrassing. It makes us all look bad. It makes everybody who lives in the United States, it makes all of us look bad. What these assholes have done is an insult to every single person in this country. It's just embarrassingly horrible. I mean, if I were her, like, why would anybody ever want to come here if this is what you're going to come against? It used to be that the United States was like the envy of the world, It really used to be that. It used to be that people from all over the world wanted to come here, and they wanted to live here. They wanted to make their countries like ours. Our country was a model of what a successful, rich, powerful country was. People wanted to be like us. They patterned their countries after our countries because obviously we were doing something right. Those days are gone. They're gone because of people like this, because of people like J.K. Rowling and Donald Trump and fucking Riley Gaines and every other piece of shit asshole out there whose brain is fucking smaller than their mouth, who just thrive on bigotry. That's why this shit's important. They're making us a national fucking laughingstock. And the irony, of course, and I can't stress this enough, is that It's just doubly super ridiculous and ironic because the woman is not even a trans person. It demonstrates how bigotry hurts everybody, not just the intended targets. Everyone is affected by bigotry. It's fucking disgusting. Absolutely fucking disgusting. I hope she sues the pants off of all of those people. Fuck each and every last one of them.
Hello folks, if you like what I do and you want to support the channel, please consider buying something from my Etsy shop, supporting me on Patreon, liking and subscribing, and checking me out across my social media links listed below. Thank you all so much, and see you next time.